Alrighty, so my name is Luke. I'm the founder over at Avanta, and today I'm joined with one of my favorite clients, John, who runs Digital Horsepower. So instead of talking over him, I thought I'd hand the mic off over to him. So if you could quickly introduce yourself, John, and tell us a little bit more about what your agency actually does.
Yeah, so my name is John Rathman. I run Digital Horsepower, as you said. We focus on organic search optimization for law firms. And, we try to get them ranked locally for all the important keywords that people search when they're looking for a lawyer that handles the type of case that our clients take care of.
Awesome. Now, in terms of kind of what you were doing before us, how was that current strategy in place to actually bring on new clients, or a lack thereof, if that makes sense?
We had a strategy. It was a bit slow. We didn't put a lot of effort into it because at that particular point, we're really focused on taking care of our existing clients. But then we wanted to go into growth mode, and I got an email from you, and we started talking, and here we are.
Totally. Now, it sounds like client acquisition was the main problem in that end. Was there anything more that you were trying to solve outside of the client acquisition issue beforehand?
Not really. Deliverability is good for us. Our clients get great results consistently from us. So, it was really just zeroing in on acquisition.
Awesome. Now, obviously, we touched briefly on what we had achieved. So, obviously, we've been working together for 2.5 months now. And in terms of results that you've achieved, what does that kind of look like on behalf of your agency?
It's been successful. Overall, if you look at it from a pure number standpoint, I think we've invested, over the period of this 2.5 months, somewhere around 7,000 or 8,000. You would know that more than me. And we've generated, I think, about 15, maybe 17 or 18,000 in monthly recurring revenue as a result of it. So
awesome.
It's definitely been successful when you look at the cost benefit based on what we've gotten out of it. It's working.
Awesome to hear. $18,000 increase in monthly recurring revenue. That's awesome. And in terms of the kind of outside of the quantifiable numbers, what has the impact been outside of those, in terms of not having to rely on referrals or anything like that? Has there been any other impact besides the numbers, obviously?
We like the idea that we don't have to put a lot of focus on where our next client's coming from. In terms of prospect, right? We still have to talk to them and show them that we're a good fit for them.
Absolutely.
It's been nice to have a little bit more predictability in the growth of our agency. We'd certainly love to do more volume, but I know we're working towards that. So we're happy.
Absolutely.
No doubt.
Absolutely. Now, I love that you mentioned that you first got in contact with us via just a cold email. Now, obviously, I'm sure you as an agency owner probably get hit up a ton with cold email. So what kind of stood out in terms of that offer that we proposed to you?
It was short, sweet, to the point, and it was very clear that you were interested in a results-based engagement, which is something that we're interested in. We've talked to a lot of people about their offering, and they want thousands and thousands of dollars up front and big commitments and all of that. And as you know, there's lots of people in the agency space that don't come through the way they say they're going to come through. And we've experienced a couple of those that really shied us away from it. But you were pretty clear with the type of engagement that you have. And we had a good conversation. And I believe we agreed on the first call to work together. And, we haven't looked back. It's been great.
Absolutely. Now, in terms of, our working relationship, can you perhaps describe that in terms of maybe looking for a future client that may be looking in on this? What does that kind of relationship look like in the daily works, if you will?
Yeah, so it's pretty easy. When we first started, you were giving us daily updates on getting things set up and where you were at and what was happening. So that was good to know what was going on. In fact, that was pretty impressive. We didn't expect that from you. And so that was great. And then the ongoing communication, which involves things like, you asked us for a couple of case studies to help engage people on your side with the way you were handling the replies that were coming in from the work that you were doing. and just collaborating on that stuff and kind of knowing what you were doing so that we could kind of anticipate, some prospects to come in, over that next week or two. And the communication's been very good, and I'm big on communication.
Yeah.
I don't mind spending a lot of money with somebody if it's results driven. I just kind of want to know what's going on.
Absolutely.
And we've spent more with you than we have with any other outside agency that's helped us with cold email outreach and so forth. And we're happy to do it because we can quantify the results. So it works.
Absolutely, yeah. I love to hear that, as obviously communication is a huge aspect for us, so that's a huge pointer. Now, in terms of recommending and stuff like that, in terms of a potential agency that may be listening, right? Why should someone perhaps bite the bullet and take the gun with us, if that makes sense?
First of all, I don't think it's biting the bullet. I think it's, I'm a tough nut to crack, right? It's hard to sell me on anything because I've heard it all, I've seen it all, and I've been, I don't want to say ripped off by it all, but it's happened quite a bit. So I learned from those mistakes, and I really am not open to most offerings, but yours was credible, it made sense, and if you can sell me, you can sell anybody. For an agency owner that's listening, if you do something similar to what we do, where you're obviously looking for more clients that you build them monthly to help them achieve their revenue goals and so forth, I would go as far as saying if you don't engage with Luke, you're probably making a mistake. And so we're happy that we didn't make that mistake. And, here we are.
Totally appreciate that. Now, the last question I have, one that I asked all the clients that we hop on these interviews for, is, any big pointers on, what we can actually do to improve, whether it be systems, communication, anything that you may have in mind. I'd love to hear it.
As an agency, we tend to be a bunch of know-it-alls, right, about our space. And we've done shit tons of cold email internally, and we couldn't get it to work right. So you obviously have hit on something that works, and I just think people should just shut up, listen to you, do it the way you suggest that they do it, and it will work, because that's been what we've experienced, to put it bluntly.
Fair enough. Well, John, those are all the questions I have for you today. Again, I thank you for taking this time, and it's been an absolute pleasure working together this far, and we continue to move forward.
Same here. Yeah, no, absolutely. Onward and upward, man.